Hey guys, and welcome back for another video. Today we finally get to do the last map clear for the Griffon collection, and this time we'll be at the domain of Vabbi. Now while this is the last map-wide collection we have to do, there is a little bit of post-collection type stuff that we'll have to do, so there'll be another video coming out after this, but the domain of Vabbi wraps up the worst of it, guys. So, for the domain of Vabbi, you're going to need your last 50 gold for the 250 gold total to finally pay all these heart vendors for the items we need. Go ahead and pat yourself on the back, guys. That's a lot of gold. And just like the previous guides, we'll be going about this in the same order, so heart vendors first, open world content second, and we'll wrap it up by tracking down a few Griffon eggs. And with all that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get started on the heart vendors. Alright, so for the first heart vendor, we need to head to the Necropolis waypoint. And just south of that waypoint, you should see an awakened savant named Taraj. For 25 gold, once the heart is complete, you should be able to purchase the stone carving tools. For the second heart, and our final heart for this entire collection, head over to Vitendi Academy waypoint. Just south of the waypoint, you should see Professor Nazimi, and for 25 gold, once that heart's been completed, you'll be able to purchase Guard Bribe for 25 gold. Moving on to the open world, we only really have one event to complete, so if you're still by the Vitendi Academy waypoint, great. If not, go ahead and head back to that waypoint. Now, just as a small disclaimer, there is a totally relevant way to get into this place that involves going and exploring the academy, finding a secret bookshelf, and it'll let you into the warehouse where you need to go. But for this guide, we're actually just going to use the Springer to cheese it. So from the waypoint, head northeast, and we're basically just headed up to the top of these crystals so we can start jumping on them. So when you make it to the circular platform, just jump up on that, and that should give you plenty of room to get on some of these large purple crystals and start heading south. Now you should see an opening, and that'll just let you drop directly into the warehouse. And it's actually inside that warehouse that we're looking for an event. The event you're looking for should be to help First Spear Couture recover his equipment and escape imprisonment. Basically, it's just a typical Guild Wars 2 defense event. Couture is going to be looking for his gear, and it's just your job to keep him alive. Successfully completing the event will get you Yasfar, the Rune of Sacrifice. And now it's just a matter of tracking down 5 Griffon eggs to wrap this all up. There aren't really any ideal waypoints for this one, so just use your Spear Marshal's Plea, or the item you got at the very beginning of this whole collection, to teleport yourself back to where this all started. Just south of where you spawn in, you should see a very tall rocky structure with a few pillars, and that's where we're headed. Use the Griffon mount to get across the gap, and then start using your Springer to climb up. Just try to be patient and make the jumps as accurately as possible. Once you make it all the way to the top, you'll find the first Griffon nest, as well as the Griffon, and if you've been following previous guides, you know to mount up on that Griffon, because we'll be using it to get a few more of these eggs. So once you're all mounted up, go ahead and look to the northwest, and you should see a series of tall rocky structures, and that's what we'll be aiming for. As long as you're looking northwest, it should be the second peak from the left. Now the Griffon mount itself probably won't get you all the way to the next spot, so just be sure to land and use your Springer mount to get the rest of the way. For the next egg, be sure to mount up and just start heading north. If you need a point of reference, just look for the vista directly north of where we just started flying, and once you see a domed building on your right hand side, you'll know you're in the right place. The Griffon nest will be directly on top of this building, and will actually be made out of the same purple crystals that you can see all around you. Once you've got the egg, get back to that very first Griffon roost spot. Now for the final 2 eggs, we're going to need to be pretty quick about this, as we will be subject to some Kraukatoric lightning, so I'm going to do them both rapid fire. Be sure to watch this play out once, and then attempt it yourself. So from that Griffon roost spot, again head northwest, but this time we're actually going to cross the water, and what you're looking for on the map is the purple half moon. You'll know it when you see it, as it's a giant purple crystal that's arcing out of the ground. The nest is going to be right on top of that, and you're going to have to very quickly grab that egg, remount up, and start heading south. After a little while, you should see some outstretched purple crystals, and on the very first one you see that's outstretched farther than all the rest, you'll find your very last Griffon egg. And that, guys, is it for the domain of Vabbi Griffon Griffon collection. Also, if you've been following along up to this point, you're all done with all 5 maps worth of collections. As good as it feels to be over the largest hump of this entire process, there is just a little bit extra you'll still need to do, but don't worry, that guide should be coming up here real shortly. Anyway guys, that's again where I'm gonna call this one. I hope this helps somebody out there trying to unlock the Griffon mount, or maybe just get a little bit of it done in small bite-sized portions. But as always guys, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.